What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is Tony, aka One Lead Code One Day. If you're new here, this channel does one lead code per day, following the pattern of topics or series. That is, I'm going to be solving with you together on a lead code problem I have never attempted before. You heard that right. There's no prescripted answer. We're on the same page here. But don't you worry, I got you covered, and I promise that I will submit at least an average code at the end of each video. Here's a little about myself. I come from a non-computer science background, so I'm no better off than most of you, if not all of you guys, in terms of coding knowledge. Okay, but that is okay. If I can do it, you can do it. It's all about learning on the go. You can think of this video as me do a first-person gameplay of cracking lead codes. And who doesn't like first person gameplays, right? So without further ado, let's take today's problem. Today we continue on the series one, everything about dynamic programming, and the problem is a number two in a series. It's called best time to buy and sell stock number two. Let's get into it and take a look. Okay, so it's a medium problem. You're given an integer array prices where the array value is a given stock on the ith day, and on each day you may decide to buy and or sell the stock. You can only hold at the most one share of the stock at any time. However, you can buy it, then immediately sell it on the same day. Okay, so it's like you can buy it, then immediately sell it on the same day. Okay, you can hold at most one share. Find and return the maximum profit you can achieve. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky. Let me read an example and see what does that mean. If the price is 7,153,64, what can you do? Output is 7. Okay, you can buy on day 2, right, at price 1, and then you can sell on day 3 at price 5. Yeah, okay. So you make $4, and then buy immediately after on day 4, which is $3, and then you sell on day 5, which is $6. You make another $3. So your total profit is 4 plus 3 equal to 7. That makes sense. So you can make continuous buying and selling decisions. So if the rate is very long, then you can actually you want more frequent up and downs so that you can buy and sell more frequently, to make more bucks, right? Okay, may got that. I got that. So basically, you want to buy at every dip, right? Because at every dip you're gonna be able to make some money. Yeah, just so buy at every dip. That's like the first intuition. Now, example two, um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, because there's no dip, you're just gonna hold it until you see the peak or the last value, right? Right. There's no dip, you just hold it, right? And now 7, 6, 4, 3, 1. There's always like a drop. You cannot short any stocks, so you can't make a profit. Okay, so we got it. Okay, we got it. I think we have a strategy for this stock buy and selling problem. So we're just going to directly jump into it. Make a new notebook. Call it leet 122, right? Let's rename it leet 122, and let's just rename the previous one leet 121, which I knew. Now leet 122, best time to buy and sell the stock, but now second version. And we also want to include this first example here. For some reason, the first example in the lead code problem is always good. Second one may not be, but the first one is usually a good one. Uh, and then we have these constraints too. So we want to include the constraints because someday we might want to exploit them. All right, here we go. And here we have it. And now let's copy our problem template into here. And we also want some test cases. We'll just directly borrow some test cases from previously. For example, if things are like this, you know what? They're actually the exact same test cases. but of course the answers are different. For this one, we're expecting 7, and for, let's see, for this one, we're expecting 0, right? And for this one, we're expecting 4. Yes, this one we're expecting 0, and for uh, da, yeah, for this one, whoops, what did I do? Anyway, um, I'm gonna copy it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are expecting 4, right? And let me just, put down our heuristic here. So also we want to basically take the first example, which is always good, as something to experiment prototype on. So our intuition is like always buy any dip, always buy any dip, um, and sell at any peak. Yeah, and we love the local dips, and we love the local peaks. You know, that's how you make the best uh, bang out of your bucks. And also we want to otherwise hold until otherwise we don't hold. Actually, yeah, I mean, right, right. Yeah, just like that. So now let's somehow use let's use purple color, this color, and then we're gonna try to start again from day one and start experimenting with something. So is this like a good time to start holding something? We don't know, but um, we're also gonna store like a maybe like a store. We need to store something. Store the best buy value so far locally. Uh, 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 um, store the best buy value locally as long as price keeps dropping. You know, update the best buy value locally as long as price keeps dropping, and update the best sell value locally as long as price keeps increasing, right? Right. Otherwise, you don't update. So we're gonna just name them. V best buy, right? Best sell. We're gonna say V best sell, and we'll probably want to reset them, right? Like, how do we reset when we are like when we are over like a dip? We're probably gonna, if we're over a dip, if you found like actually a new dip somewhere, um, we will uh, uh, um, reset the best, reset, V best sell, V best sell, because any best sell value to remember in the past doesn't matter anymore. And when we are over a top, right? How do you call it? Like a peak, we will reset V best buy, because the transaction is over and we're gonna have to just move on, right? Move on, like if it's a whole new day. Um, right, right. So let's just store those values. So V best buy, right? V best sell, Um, you know what? I feel pretty excited solving this problem because as if almost I can smell money. Um, I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe it's a fake feeling, but I feel that I'm smelling money. Uh, it does make you feel good. All right, so now, V Best Buy. What is V Best Buy when we are at. Oh, what are we doing? Whoops, I think I just clicked on somewhere else randomly. Or maybe it's my pen again. The pen is throwing another tantrum at me. I'm trying to find a place to write it, but okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Right, found my pen. So V Best Buy. Let me just, use this, right? We're gonna do because we didn't know anything in the future. We'll just say, okay, now 7 is probably our Best Buy value, right? 7. Best sell still 7 because we don't know nothing else. And then moving on to day one, because it's dropping, right? Because it's dropping as long as the price keeps dropping. Here we see, as long as the price keeps dropping, we're going to update the best buy value. So this now becomes 1, and best sell value. Uh, Best sell value. Well, it cannot be 7 anymore because we're over it. The best sell value is now number 1. Right. But do we have like a transaction here? We don't. We're not selling anything. And let's move on. Move on here to this number 5 here because it's an increase. And as long as price keeps increasing, we're going to update the best sell value locally, which is best sell. We increase it to 5, and we just you know this keeps growing like that. Um, we don't update it, and then now do we sell? We don't sell yet. We don't know if like 5 is a peak, right? And then we move. So far, but do we know that if our one was a local dip? Yeah, at this point, at index number equal to 2, we know that index number 1 is like a peak, is like a dip, right? We're gonna say dip. We know this is a dip, but we don't know if like index 2 is a peak yet. So we knew it's a dip. We know we're over a dip. We will reset the best sell. Do we really do that? Well, when we're over a dip, we will reset the best sell. Well, we already best buy value. We already did that, right? Like here we did a reset, right? This is a reset. This is a reset already. Because why? Because now the value is lower than before, so we are keep keep dropping the price, and so right. Let's just move on, okay? Let's just try another one, number 3. So uh, uh, index number 3, we encounter a number 3 here, and because now the price keeps dropping. Now when the price keeps dropping, we're gonna update the best buy value, or we're gonna first ask, hey, do we have a transaction? Yes, we have a transaction here actually. So, why do we have a transaction? Because we realized that this is a peak, right? This is a peak because it went from 1 to 5 and then down to 3. So if this is a peak, we definitely want to sit on this local dip and peak. So, um, we're gonna definitely make a transaction here, right? Make a transaction here. And wrap it up. And after we wrap it up, our best buy value. will be updated to we will reset our best buy value, right? We'll update it to right. We're gonna be like that. This yeah. This is where we end, right? Um, yeah, this is where we start and this is where we end. I don't know how to better express this. Yeah, okay. So now starting here, our best buy value is 3. What about our best sell value? Because now we're at a we're we're dropping the price, right? We're gonna update the best buy value. We did do that. It's now updated to the 3 here. The best sell value, because there's just a transaction going on here, right? So yeah, this is like because there's a transaction, we're gonna have to reset the best sell value to 3. You know, reset. This is a reset as well. Reset because of transaction, right? Because of a transaction. And what is this reset for? This reset is because uh, 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 we reset because this is a new low, right? Because there's a price drop. Um, yeah, because there's a price drop. This is a reset because there's a transaction. Okay, so now we move on to number 4. Uh, First thing we're gonna see is if the price is keeping dropping. Well, it's not. So, but it's keeping increasing. So we're going to update the best sell value, right, to this. And then we're gonna keep this, right? We're gonna keep this. We don't know if we want to sell it or not yet. We don't know that. And then we basically just update this, right? This is an update. So for updates, yeah, this is an update, and then let's move on to the next one. Last one, index number 5. It's a 4 because it keeps dropping. We're going to update the best buy value, meaning now we have another transaction here, um, right? And then because this dropped, we're going to reset this to number 4, and then uh, uh, we're going to reset this also to number 4 because we're going to reset because of a transaction. Right. So if we look over all of these things here again, we had 2 transactions. Uh, we have reset it in best buy and best sell value. Uh, um, we always like seems to reset them, in a pair, right? You see, we always reset them in a pair. Um, so basically, the first reset, was not due to a transaction. The first reset was due to uh, a, a new lower value. Let's just think of a different scenario, okay? Because we're pretty sure about the reset with transactions, but I'm a little bit not sure about what if we have 7, let's say 4-1. Let's just make it a little bit more complicated because now we will have 2 more drops, right? One more drop here. So let me just try this, right? Again, we're gonna have like a V best buy in the first row, right? And V best sell. Let's see if we start from 1. Our V best buy is 7. Our V best sell is 7. And when we are onto this, now our V best buy is updated to 4 because it keeps dropping, right? But V best sell, it also updates because this has to be updated because it's a drop. Uh, so so let's just update what we said here. Uh, when we whenever whenever prices drop, we will reset we'll reset best sell. Uh, right. Uh, okay. And let's see once more when we are at this value 1 here. Uh, do we update our best buy value? Yes, we do. Do we update our best sell value? Yes, we do. So we basically update those uh, because of a price drop. So okay. Um, right. So we have two occasions where we update both of them. One is when we have a price drop. That happens often, right? Another is when we have uh, a transaction. And how do you know when you're going to have a transaction? Actually, for example, when we're at like index 3, number 3 here, uh, do we know we need to do a transaction? We know we had to do a transaction previously because, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, right. So let me just write this more explicitly. We'll set both V best sell, uh, both V best buy, and we will sell when we see a price drop. When we realize uh, a previous yesterday, when we realize yesterday should be a sell day, we will reset. Uh, um, we will reset. Both V best buy and V best sell t- today. But because we were given because we can buy and sell, we can sell and buy on the same day, right? We can sell like one share and then we buy one share on the same day. Uh, does it like incentivize doing that? I don't think anything incentivizes doing that. It's almost like you sell it on the same price, uh, and then you buy it again. What's the point, right? It's like you're still holding it, right? Yeah. So buying and selling on the same day doesn't really I think buying and selling, yeah, no, selling and buying on the same day does not mean any additional value here. I think so. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put this here. I might be wrong, but I'm just gonna put it down here. So we're not gonna consider that. So the only two times when we are resetting our best buy value and best sell value uh, are like first whenever we see a price drop, two whenever we see that yesterday should be a transaction day, a sell day, right? So again, what is like the condition for triggering a sell, for triggering like a transaction? For example, when we were at 1, we have no idea. When we were at 5, we had no idea whether we're going to sell it or not. There's a chance, but We don't know. But when we're next index 3, we definitely know we want to sell yesterday. So there are two conditions to uh to to like basically justify a sell. First is that we've been on like a price increasing streak, right? Price increasing streak. So prices are increasing. And then um now it suddenly switched to another trend, like the price is dropping now. Yeah. So how do we decide when is a selling date? Whether yesterday should be a selling day. Well, we can never know if today should be a selling day. So yeah, we two conditions. One, uh, 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 we had been on a price rise streak. We had been on a price rise streak uh, until up to up to yesterday. That's one condition. Two, uh, uh, today is a drop compared to yesterday. So basically, these are the two conditions to justify for a selling date. And it was true for day number 2 here, day number 3 here, right? Steve, today is day number 3. Then previous 2 days we were on a price rise streak, uh, and then today is like a price drop. So that's definitely so that just definitely justifies yesterday as a selling date. And then when we were on day number 5, we knew that day 3 and day 4 had been like a 1 day price rise streak, right? And then and we also see a fall today, and so that's how we know it's a selling date. So, and whenever we have like a selling date, we're going to basically kind of like cash our profit, right? Like we're gonna have like a profit so far array, right? So let's build it up. So the profit array, in day 0, this is gonna be 0, and then reset, right? Like we don't know any profit yet, 0. On this day, we don't know if we had any profit yet, but now because we know that yesterday should be like a selling date, so we know that okay, that's the profit. So we had a profit of 5 minus 1, so it's 4. And on day number 4, uh, well, we just don't know yet, right? And on day number 5, we knew that okay, there was another profit day. So, oh wait, so it should be still 4, right? This is only like a non-decreasing array, and then 4 plus 3, it's 7 here. So all right, so that's our final profit there. And let's just work on this here. 741, and our profit was 0 and 0 and 0. And up to this date, well, now we're seeing like, okay, uh, 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 um, this is a price rise, but we're not sure yet whether we should sell today. So, um, our best buy price is still 1, best sell price is now 5, but we're not sure if we're selling it, so the profit is still 0. At this 3 here, and because we're seeing, okay, previously we have been on a we had been on a price rise streak, and now it's dropping. So definitely on this day, we're going to do a transaction. So the transaction is going to immediately land on a profit of 4. And now we reset, right? We do a reset here. And these two values are going to be reset to the current value. And then we move on here, and then we're going to, okay, see, there's a price rise, all right? The buy value doesn't change, but the sell value is increased, but we don't know if we're gonna sell it yet, so the profit stays at 4. And now at this last index here, it's a price drop after a price rise streak, so it's definitely a transaction day yesterday. It should be a transaction day yesterday, a selling day yesterday, whatever. And then now we're gonna have to reset this to 4. But also our profit has reached 7. So this is how we calculate it. I think it's a pretty complete logic. Now let's just get into code and try to see if I could code it. Uh, so we're again walking from left to right, and I think we still have like an ON in terms of time complexity and O1 in terms of space complexity. Uh, and what we do is that we again going to use a for loop. We're going to use P in prices to basically walk through day by day, and we need to initialize a V best buy as what? As um, I think we need to initialize it as the largest value because we don't know the price yet, so we're just gonna assume the worst case scenario at the beginning. And best sell value, well, we don't know what we can sell at, so we're gonna also start with the worst case scenario, right? And then yeah, so like always initialize with worst case scenario. Do the same here. And then once we're doing this for loop, we want to be updating these two values, right? And we also want to, judge if we are at a selling date, uh, right? That's the first judgment to make. Uh, so the judgment of selling is to see, okay, if we're in a selling streak, right? If we're in a, rise streak, if we're in a rise streak, right? Uh, uh, um, then uh, and you know and our current price is 3, which is lower than our best sell value, right? Best sell value, and P is less than V best sell, right? But right streak and P, this is our so this means like yesterday is a sell day. So we're gonna update our profit equals plus equal, right? We should initialize our profit equal to 0, and profit plus equals to uh what equals to the currently stored best sell value, which is 5 previously, and minus the v best buy value, which is 1 previously. So um, v best sell minus v best buy. So that's update, update profit. Uh, and what we're gonna do if that happens, right? Uh, we're gonna reset our v best buy and v best sell, right? So v best buy equals v best sell equals p. Can we do that? Like, can we do Python? Can we do that in Python? Python assign two variables at once, same value. Yeah, can you do that? Uh, you can do a b equals to something. Um, a b. Okay, so Okay, all right. I guess we could do this, right? PP. Yeah, we could do this. Right? Yeah, we could do this. No problem. So it's just an expression, all right? So we're gonna, reset V best buy and V best sell, right? So that is when, it's a sell day. So if it's not the case, if if yesterday was not a sell day, then we just have our normal logic. But there's another different, check if we need to reset, the values. It's when, if the price is a drop, right? If there's a price drop, we definitely reset both of the values, and there's no profit yet. So else if else if oh else if um else if there's a price drop, right? So P what does it mean by saying there's a price drop? So if there's a price drop, we had, the current value lower than what? Lower than the uh uh um previous previous sell value or previous buy value? Well, previous previous sell value, right? V sell, V best sell. If this is the case, we also reset this, but we don't update our profit. But hey, don't you think that these two are so similar? Yeah, and we also need to somehow mm, we kind of like need to update the rise streak or something, right? But anyway, these are like price drops, right? Price drops. Uh, uh, um, else, else is when, um, 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 mm, P greater or equal to V best sell. Right. That's the else. And if that's the case, we're on a rising streak, and this is going to be true, right? Yeah. Let's. I don't know. How we should initialize the rise streak here? Uh, rise streak. Um, at the beginning, I think it's kind of false, right? Because you don't know, so you better use false. But we'll find out. Yeah. First, update this, right? And what else? We need to update. If it keeps increasing, we're gonna update the best sell value, right? For example, when we're increasing the price, we're gonna update the best sell value. We don't update anything else, right? We just update the best sell value. It's gonna be P, right? This is how you update it. And what about profit? Right. The only time when we start to add profit into our wallet is when there is like a sell day, right? Yesterday is a sell day. And so we finish all of these, uh, and then we're gonna just return profit. I think so, but this is just a scrappy code. Let's take a look. Whoa, wow, what is going on? So, wow, it's minus like 9. Yeah, because we initialized our best buy value with what? Um, with this, and somehow we didn't update it. We didn't update our best best buy value, I think. Well, first of all, this should be dropping, right? If it's dropping, Best sell. Hmm. Best sell. Yeah, maybe these conditions they don't really work for the first iteration, like when there were no values at all. Maybe you should just initialize it as what? Price is one, price is zero, and initialize this as price is zero as well. That could be a way of doing it. Let's see. Okay, a little better, but the next one we're expecting four, but we're getting zero because we're not selling. Right. Just so you know, in this kind of like for loop, we only sell when we had been on a rise streak and then we had a drop. But but maybe if like the price is always rising and there's no dip for you to sell anything the previous day, then you're gonna still have to sell the last day, right? Um, how do we represent that? So if everything has been on a rising streak, which is good, so you're not going to end the trend. You're not going to perform the transaction uh, uh, until the rise streak. Uh, do that. Well, we're gonna do like a virtual, right? We're gonna add a virtual. Uh, we're gonna add a virtual zero at the end, to force any sales, right? We're gonna do that. This is like a virtual zero that we're adding. You know, add. Oops, this is too long. Add a virtual zero uh, at the end to force the triggering of a sell action. Possible, if it possible, sell action on the last day. Yeah, we need to give it a chance to, you know, to cash all the money that we invested. So, um, what are we gonna do? P, uh, in prices, right? In prices plus a zero. We're just gonna do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're virtually adding a virtual uh, uh, price zero day at the end. Yeah, this virtual price zero day will force a possible sell on the last day. Right. Okay. Right. So now these answers are correct, and let me try to submit this for uh, running this code once. Correct. Test case is correct. Let's try to submit. Accepted. Wow. Okay. That was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the results. We had a success, and it was above average in almost every respect. Yep, we are above average in almost as every. Wow, look at that. So we're definitely above average. All right, so this is a quick solution today. Again, so before we wrap up, let's take a look at some of the solutions and see if there are something we can learn from them. All right, so this is it, and we have to determine the maximum profit that can be obtained by making the transactions. No limit on the number of transactions done. For this, we need to find out those sets of buying and selling prices which together lead to the maximum profit. Solution article brute force, which we're gonna skip. Wow, this is quite a big time complexity. Peak valley approach. Yeah, I think this is what we had done. If we plot the numbers of the given array on a graph, we get these. If we analyze the graph, then we notice that the point of interest are the consecutive valleys and peaks, right? And the key point is we need to consider every peak immediately following a valley to maximize the profit. Yes, in case we skip one of these peaks, we will end up losing the profit. That's right. We want to basically cash in on every local dip and local peak. For example, blah, 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 blah. Right. So there's the code, and they're used to like a while loop, valley, peak, max profit. We had profit. We had best buy, best sell. Maybe they mean the same things. Uh, and then there's a while loop when uh, I less than price is length minus one. So when we are still not at the end, and when the current price is greater than price is minus one. Oh, okay. So you're actually looking into the future. All right. Uh, if this is like a dip, then I plus plus. Okay. What does this mean? Like we were doing a price drop, and then value equals to price is I. Okay. And then while uh, prices on the other hand is like increasing, we're going to say okay, we find a peak, and it's going to be like that, and max profit is going to be uh, peak minus valley, right? And then return max profit. I think, yeah, this is another way of looking at it, and it's actually a little bit more intuitive, I guess, or just a different flavor. I mean, our approach was still pretty intuitive, right? Like we said, we're gonna sweep from the first day on, and then we're going to determine if yesterday is a sell day by looking at two conditions. If there was a rise streak, and if today is a small drop or large drop, anyway, today is a drop, then that means yesterday was a local peak, and yesterday is the day when we should sell, and we should add the profit um, of yesterday's sell to our total profit here. And then we're gonna basically reset our buy and sell array to move on, right? Like we just cashed the money, and then we're gonna continue investing onward. And then we say, okay, uh, if we weren't on a rising streak, but today is a price drop, then we're still gonna reset our V best buy and V best sell uh, in any way, because it's not a buy. We're not at like in the next buying point yet. Uh, and if else, meaning like we're actually looking at the the the, the stock price is rebounding again, then the rise streak is gonna start. Uh, the rise streak actually started yesterday, right? So then we're going to update now that we have a new best sell value, and we're gonna cache this best sell values somewhere very near in the future, whenever we detect a local peak again. So this was also very intuitive. I would say this is an equally good solution. It's in Java, but maybe we can implement it as well in Python. And then it's also got that complexity. Simple one pass. Um, this approach, is it different from this peak value approach? Let's take a look. Simple one pass variation. Let's read. In this case, instead of looking for every peak following a valley, we can simply go on crawling over the slope and keep on adding the profit obtained from every consecutive transaction. Yeah, I think that's what I've been doing. In the end, we will be using the peaks and valleys effectively, but we need not track the costs corresponding to the peaks and valleys along with the maximum profit, but we can directly keep on adding the difference between the consecutive numbers of the array if second number is larger than the first one, and at the total sum we obtain uh, will be the maximum profit. This approach will simplify the solution. This can be made clearer by taking this example. So it's a crawling example, right? So um, you're gonna crawl on any up ramp, right? Observe that the sum a plus b plus c is equal to the difference d, corresponding to the difference between the heights of the consecutive peak and valley. Yeah, it's again a Java solution. Max profit for integer from 1 to the last length, and we're gonna do if we see a price rise, then we're gonna sit on the price rise. Uh, yeah. So basically, we're gonna sit on any price rise. We're gonna sit on this price rise, from 1 to 7, and we're gonna sit on this price rise, this price rise, and this price rise. Yeah. And then when we drop, we don't really care. And then for the next price rise, we're going to add as well. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good solution as well. This one pass or crawling algorithm, like it's almost like you're buying and selling on every day, right? It's almost like you're buying and selling on every day, if possible. And if it's like a rising day, well, you just buy and you just sell, and then you buy again. Um, Maybe you buy again, I don't know. Like this is like retrospecting uh, into a known, price stock fluctuation. So you look back and then, you're gonna sit on any of these up ramps. You're gonna ignore any of these down ramps, right? That's basically what this does. Like if the price of the current day is higher than the previous day, this is our up ramp. You're gonna basically just add the price difference into your max profit. Otherwise, if there's a price drop or equal price, you just ignore it. This if condition will just not go anywhere, and then you're going to sit on the profit. Yeah. So I think that's also like another good intuition. Actually, I'm interested in implementing that as well. So let's say this is our version one, which is what? How do we call it? We call it a uh, um, what is this heuristic? Our own heuristic, right? So it's like always buy dip, sell peak. Yeah, we're gonna do buy any dip, sell any peak. Yeah, this is like our algorithm. And then we're gonna just basically create a different algorithm, okay? Uh, Version two, crawl, crawling, and uh, uh, and 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 sitting on every crawling and sitting on every gain, every up ramp, upslope, and counting, and accumulating on every upslope, step by step, day by day, right? So the way we're going to do this, we're going to do a for loop for p in prices, right? So our profit, of course, we're going to initialize that 0. P in prices, uh, well, I think, damn, we also have to remember p yesterday, right? P yesterday. Yeah, p yesterday. Let's say, what is p yesterday? P yesterday equals to price is 0. Let's just give it a 0 to crank it started. Okay. So if P is greater than P yesterday, then we're gonna sit on it and we're gonna say our profit uh, is equal to uh, P minus P yesterday. Yeah, we're gonna basically buy and sell every day. Um, and yeah, that's it. And we're gonna just return profit. Does it work? We don't know yet, but let's just see. Nope. There's something not quite right there. P in prices. Oh, we haven't updated yesterday yet, right? All right, we're gonna update P yesterday. P yesterday equals P, right? Else, right? Else we just update P yesterday, go to P. Oh, so actually you're updating this anyway, so let's drop that else condition and just say this update yesterday because you're gonna update it anyway, right? Right, and return profit 740. It seems working. So let's just put version 2 into the solution here as well. And let's see if it works. It works in this case. Works in this case. It also works in this case. All right, so we obtain our second solution, and it's also pretty good, you see. All right, so I think this is a quick video as well. Let's make a quick summary. So today we worked on best time to buy and sell stock number 2. So this is where you have array of days when a price of a stock fluctuates, and you can buy and sell any day, and you can even buy and sell on the same day. Uh, but you can only own one stock at a time, and then basically you have to sell it before you buy another one, and return the maximum profit. So we first came up with this heuristic that okay, if that's the case, we're basically gonna do is we're gonna buy any dip and sell at any peak because we don't want to give up any chance of local monetization. So that's what we're doing. And to do that, we basically said, okay, uh, we did a few, numerical examples to kind of like finalize our thoughts, right? And basically, the final thought is that uh, there are places when we update our uh, V best buy value and V best sell value. First case is when we had a price drop, then we definitely just reset everything because it's not the time to start buying yet. We're just wait and we're gonna reset. We're waiting to reset. And the next another case is when we know like yesterday was a good day to sell. Then we're gonna reset today's value and then move on. Those are the two cases where we reset. And overall this worked pretty well. Um, and that's why we said whenever prices drop, we will reset both buy and sell value. And then when we realized yesterday should be a sell day, we will also reset buy and sell value. So those are the two reset conditions. And how do we decide whether yesterday should be a selling day? There are two conditions, right? The first one is that if we had been on a price rise streak up to yesterday, so um, we had been going from a dip all the way up, and then the second one is that today is a drop compared to yesterday. So this one, otherwise, that is today kills the price rise streak. So if today kills that streak, then yesterday should be the day we cash it in, right? Yeah. So that is that. And then there's a little trick, one more additional trick there. So if like, for example, there are sometimes you have been on a continuous price rising streak, and then there's no dip. There's no like end of that price rising streak. And on the last day, you still want to, your price value has increased a lot, but you still need to cash it. So um, So we need to trigger that, that sell trigger that sell decision somehow. And in order to reuse this decision on selling day, we actually just add a virtual day of price zero at the end of it to, to trigger, that evaluation of sell action on the last day. So that was kind of smart and it worked. So that is how we did it. In our first version of the code, our buy any dip and sell any peak heuristic, right? And it actually does not rely on any future information. Does not rely does not rely on future step information. Decision is made right now. Yeah, and the time complexity is O of n, and the space complexity is O of 1, so it worked. This one here, yeah, this also doesn't rely on that, I guess. So time also, O of 1, O of n, uh, space O of 1. So both of these are really good. The second solution is after we read somebody else's solution and found that, this is also a good approach, right? They call it what? They call it, uh, there's a name they call it. They call it, excuse me, simple one pass. Yeah. Well, simple one pass just means somebody tried it once and then it worked. Doesn't mean, there's anything specific to the algorithm. So I called it crawling and accumulating on every slope, on every upslope, right? On every upslope, day by day. So that's like a day by day crawling algorithm. Yeah, just put it here, day by day crawling and accumulating on every upslope. Right, this is the diabetic crawling algorithm. It's pretty elegant, right? And it worked. So both of these are good. One is the one that I worked on myself, and the second one is after reading the solution, and we basically re-implement it. So yeah, here we go. Two solutions, both above average, and we did a one pass as well. So kudos to us. And here is the end of the video. I'll see you in our next video. Peace.